so happy to see everyone. We wish everyone Shabbat Shalom. It's great to be gathered all together for Shabbat. This is a special Shabbat. It's not really a traditional thing, but a few years ago, an organization called the National Jewish Outreach Program began something called Shabbat Across America, and it eventually evolved to be Shabbat Across America and Canada, or Shabbat Across North America. And this year they're actually not doing it in their traditional way, because one of their rules is that it promotes traditional Shabbat observance, and that kind of runs afoul of using technology in the way that we are tonight. But we're still going to mark this first Shabbat of March as our own Shabbat Across America at home. They have not yet sent us a cease and desist letter, which is good. So I think we can officially call it Shabbat Across America at home, and to be part of a special Shabbat. They are this particular Shabbat all across North America. They have been promoting this idea of celebrating Shabbat at home. So right now across North America, and I guess in an hour for people in Central Time and in 3 hours for people on the West Coast, people will be gathering together to celebrate Shabbat. It's so wonderful for all of us to be here together to celebrate. And I know Cantor was having some technical difficulties, but Cantor, if you're there, maybe you can turn your camera on and I can unmute you and you can start singing a little bit for us. Oh, there she is. 1 second. I see she moved over. Cantor, are you there? Can you hear me? Nope, I don't see Cantor yet. 1 second.
How are we doing now?
Now we can hear you, Cantor. That's the good news. And we can see you too.
All right. Well, this is the Lincoln's Nigun. And I hope you'll sing along. This is a... Shalom Aleinu, Odievo Shalom Aleinu, Odievo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Everybody sing! Odievo Shalom Aleinu, Odievo Shalom Aleinu, Odievo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Salam Aleinu, Ve'al Kul Ha'olam. Salam, salam.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Cantor. It is such a wonderful day and so great to see so many of our families gathering together to celebrate Shabbat together. It looks like we have 65 users so far, which I know is many more people. We have this tradition of rabbi counting and cantor counting, where we sometimes push our numbers up. With Zoom, we have an accurate count of users, but we know that sometimes there's 3 or 4 people there. So it's great to see so many people gathered together to celebrate Shabbat. Tonight we are celebrating the 5th year of Congregation Shir Shalom. Our 5th year as a congregation And we are also celebrating several families who have been part of our sacred community for more than 20 years. I'm not quite sure how to explain how we have both a 5-year celebration of the congregation and 20 years of families without acknowledging that we are the union of two wonderful sacred communities. So we're celebrating families who've been part of our sacred community for more than 20 years. We're celebrating 5 years of our union. And last but not least, tonight we are welcoming 11 new families who have become part of our congregation within this past year. It's so great to see everybody. It's so great to be all together for Shabbat. And the first thing we do to welcome Shabbat is to take a nice deep breath. So let's all take a nice deep breath before we light our Shabbat candles. And now we're going to light our Shabbat candles. I invite you, if you have Shabbat candles, we delivered Shabbat in a box to everybody in our congregation who lives in this area in the past week. And we invite you to take the candles that were in that box, take them out. We didn't send matches, but take the candles out and we're going to light our Shabbat candles all together. So I invite you to bring them close to the camera. Take a moment. I'm actually going to run and grab the grape juice that we did as well, because after we light our candles, we will sing Kiddush together as well. So give me just a moment here. Cantor, maybe you want to warm us up with some music.
Sure.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Cantor. And I wish I ran out of spotlights to add here, but it is so great to see so many people with their Shabbat candles. And we just want to show a few more people as well who are lighting their Shabbat candles. And I was supposed to suggest that somebody take a picture of all of these candles lit here as well. Bobby, maybe you can help take a picture here, and we're all together.
So nice.
Putting them up. Wonderful. Getting as many as I can here. All right.
Beautiful.
Get one more here. Wonderful. All right. It's so great to see so many people all together celebrating Shabbat, lighting our Shabbat candles, taking a few moments to be together as a sacred community. And I see that we are all the way across the country here. I see Jeff Berg joining us all the way from Arizona, and Ken Isman, and I know that Joan Isman will be on in a little while as well, down in Maryland. I think we have some people from Florida on. And of course, we can't forget Rabbi Haddon all the way up in Danbury with Jean as well, lighting the Shabbat candles. It is so great for all of us to be together to celebrate Shabbat. We're going to continue now with a reading that we're going to share on your screens. This reading can be found in our prayer books on page 6. For those with the full edition of the prayer book, it is on page 124, and I invite you to read along with me. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. We're going to continue now with the words of Lechadodi, which can be found on page 20 in our prayer books. It's on page 138 in the full edition. For those at home, we'll also put the words on the screens in just a moment. Cantor, if you'd lead us in Lechadodi.
It's fun. Lincoln's Nigun melody again. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, yishmeyanu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, shemo tiferet v'litila. Oy lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'necha, ki hi mekor habracha. Merosh mikedem lesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila. O lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hit'oreri, ki ba'orech kumi ori. Uri, shir daveri kevod Adonai alayich nigla. O lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
And as we come to our 9th verse, our custom is to rise and face the entrance of whatever space you are in, that we can welcome the Sabbath bride together.
Shalom, Ateret Bala, Gava Basinacha, Uvin Sahala, Toch
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Cantor. And something special that we have been doing during our online Shabbat services is after we welcome the Sabbath bride, take a moment to welcome each other into this sacred space. Wherever we are is sacred space, but to wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. We're going to invite you to unmute yourselves and to wish each other Shabbat Shalom as well.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat
guys. Now working.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay.
Say hi. Shalom, 902-541.
And one of the great joys is the ability to just like snap your fingers and everyone is quiet all together at the exact same time, which is wonderful. Shabbat Shalom. It's so great to see so many of us here together. We're going to continue now with the words of Psalm 92, which is on page 22 in our prayer books. It's on page 140 in the full edition, and invite the cantor to lead us in these words.
Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat Tov lehodod l'Adonai Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat Tov lehodod l'Adonai Ulezamer l'shimecha elyon Ulezamer l'shimecha elyon להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. Please join with me. מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות.
Thank you so much, Cantor. We are going to continue now transitioning in our service from Kabbalat Shabbat, our welcoming of the Sabbath, into Ma'ariv, our evening service, with the words of Chatzi Kaddish, which can be found in your prayer books on page 26, page 144 in the full edition, and also on your screens in just a few moments.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה Almighty v'rachirutei v'amlit malchutei b'chayeichon u'v'yomeichon u'v'chayei dechol b'Yisrael ba'agala u'v'zman kari v'meru Amen Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach Li'olam V'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadai v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei kodesha barichu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran b'yoma v'imeru
I invite you to please rise as we continue with Baruch Hu, the call to worship, page 28 in our prayer books, page 146 in the full edition.
La 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 la
continue next with the words of Shema, the watchwords of our faith, which may be found on page 34 in our prayer books, page 152 in the full edition, and also on your screens in just a moment.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated. We continue with the words of the Ahavta on your screens.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Thank you so much, Cantor. Again, as always, I'd like to continue with a reading on page 39 and to invite my colleague, Rabbi John Haddon, to lead us in the reading. Let me unmute you first, John. Do you have the prayer book in front of you, or do you need it on the screen?
Rabbi, I need it on the screen. Thank you.
Absolutely. There you go.
Could you lift it up just a tiny bit and I'll read the second prayer?
That I cannot do, John.
I can't
I'm
do. Okay.
Sorry.
It's fine, Rabbi. I'll read the first one.
Thank you.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rabbi Haddon. It is such a blessing to have you as part of our sacred community for so many years. Both.
Thank you for
Yes.
continuing to make us all feel so welcome.
Well, thank you, John. It's a blessing, and I'm sorry I couldn't fix it. Just for everybody else to know, we have a very well-oiled machine here when it comes to services, and we're blessed to have a student, Julie DeLange, who does an incredible job of running things from off-site and putting all the readings up on the screens. And tonight she happens to be off, so we're doing everything without her.
You're doing great.
She could do it.
Jean
Thank
is
you.
my page turner tomorrow morning.
Very good, very good. It's the way we work now as rabbis, and cantors as well. Cantor, if you'll continue with the words of Mi Chamocha, which can be found in our prayer books on page 40, or page 158 in the full edition. We're going to continue now in our prayer books on page 43. It's page 161 in the full edition, and also on your screens in just a moment. And I invite you to read along with me at the top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom Elenu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. And with this prayer, with Hashkivenu, we recall the Sukkot Shlomecha, the shelter of peace that was spread over our ancestors, the first community of Israel, while they wandered through the wilderness. And we think how, especially in this past year, it was Shabbat across America just a year ago, one of the last times that we really came together as a sacred community. We think about how in the past year, Congregation Shir Shalom has been a Sukkot Shlomecha, has been a shelter for us amidst so many storms happening outside in our world. And we take a few moments now in our worship to turn our thoughts, our prayers to loved ones, neighbors, friends, people in our sacred community who are in need of healing, in need of comfort, and in need of strength. We're going to open up the chat and invite you to share publicly or privately the names of loved ones who are in need of healing. And we'll read all of these names aloud, that together we may pray for them to find healing and comfort and strength. This Shabbat we hold especially in our thoughts Janice Rappaport Abrams, Philip Agassiz, Paul Ammerling, Barry Aronson, Mindy Backrack, Diana Blum, Dora Blum, Dennis Edwards, Sebastian Feldman, Patty Gagliardi, Larry Gold, Howard Gray, Hope Harley, Austin Iowa, Janet Kalich, Greg Kellner, Mark Lacey, Timmy Lambert, Gloria Letterman, Michelle Lehrer, Jeff Levi, Kathy Mishkin, Dimitri Pascalidis, Brooke Payne, Benjamin Pinn, Matthew Rosenhaus, Sandra Rosenhaus, Zelda Schwartz, Kurt Schulman, Rob Strom, Emily Weiss, Andy Widman, Miriam Sarah Bat Elka, Chanalea, Leah Bat Fredel Avraham, Tova Bat Sheva, Leah Bat Michael, Chaim Shalom ben Mordechai HaKohen, Noah ben Hadassah, Liron Barak ben Shmuel David, and to these names we add as well Mary Cerisi, Mary Brogley, Della Adams, Dr. David Goldenberg, Ted Semmel, Lindsey Brown, Romea Pena, Norma Abrahams, Harry Allen, Alex Dashev, Ellen Darvik, John Kronstadt, Marvin Lang, Leslie Grilly, Susan Isman, Michael Fine, Steve Tabb, Yelena Fujiloa, Norman Kaplan, Clifford and Suzanne Steinberg, Carla Rosicki, Joe DiCrescenzo, Elisa Absussin, Bobby Reed, Don Schwartz, Dave Bloom, Molly Moore, Julianne Falkingham, Mark Sanangelo, Ava Evans, Jonathan Dennis, Marsha Olarsh, Gary Haber, Doug Carmel, Leo Esposito, Casey Rotten, Miriam Zemis, Mary Beth Hamilton, Patrick Berry, Marcus Nunez, Tracy Weisberg, Barbara Kielhofer, Andrew Kielhofer, Nadine Kaplan, Deborah Goodman Cohen, Sarita Malauer, Annette Wallace, Ralph Ortiz, Marsha Roden, Millie Val, Chaya Gittel, Bat Shendel, and so many others that we're holding in our hearts this Shabbat for healing. Together we sing the words of Misha Beirach Lecholim.
Refa'enu Adonai v'nei Rafei, Oshienu v'nei Vasheya, El Karov l'chol korav, Ach Karov l'reyav Yisha. We pray for healing of the body. We pray for healing of the soul, for strength of flesh and mind and spirit. We pray to once again be whole. El Rifana. Oh, please heal us now. Rifuat ha-nefesh, urfuat ha-guf, rifuat shalema. Eonor rifana. Oh, please heal us now. Rifuat ha-nefesh, urfuat ha-guf, rifuat shalema. Heal us now. Heal us now. We pray for healing of our people. We pray for healing of the land and peace for every race and nation, every child, every woman, every man. Eonor Rifana. Oh, please heal us now. Rifuat ha-nefesh, urfuat ha-guf, rifuat shalema. Heal us now. Heal us now. Heal us now.
And while we think of so many who are in need of healing, We also celebrate those who have overcome illness, who have overcome a life-threatening challenge. And our tradition offers, in addition to the Mishabaya Cholim, in addition to the prayer for those who are in need of healing, Birkat HaGomel, a blessing for those who have recovered, a blessing for those who have survived a life-challenging situation. And we've started to include this in our worship as we want to celebrate and give thanks for those who are well, for those who have received their vaccination, to give people the space to offer a blessing for Thanksgiving as well. So we're continuing now with the words of Birkat HaGomel. I will put the words on your screen, and Cantor will sing for us as well.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'melanu kol tov. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'melanu kol tov. Shed Milanu Kol Tov, Shed Milanu Kol Tov, Shed Milanu Kol Tov. Amen.
May the one who has bestowed goodness upon us continue to bestow every goodness upon us forever. Selah. We're going to continue now with the Amidah, the standing prayer, and I invite you to please rise as we continue in our prayer books on page 46. It's page 164 in the full edition and also on your screens.
Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu ve'imoteinu. Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Kazei Avot V'imahot, U'mei Geula Livnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Kozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, B'chayei HaKol HaKarov LeHoshia. Hashiv HaRuach Morid HaGashem, B'chalkel Chayim B'chesed, B'chayei HaKol B'rachamim Rabim. Somech Noflim, Trofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayim Emunato, Bli Shenei Afar, Bli
We continue now with a few moments of silent prayer and meditation with the words in our prayer books as well as the words in our hearts. When you've concluded your own prayers, you may be seated.
Shir Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael.
We are so blessed to be celebrating so many special moments on this Shabbat, to be gathered together with so many from our sacred community and gathered together with so many across our country, across our continent to celebrate Shabbat this evening. But tonight here for Congregation Shir Shalom, it is especially wonderful to celebrate the 5th anniversary of our congregation, of our Shir Shalom, and to celebrate as well those who have been part of our sacred community for more than 20 years, and to welcome new congregants as well. So I want to first celebrate those who have been part of our sacred community for more than 20 years. We're going to put a list on everybody's screens that you can look at and look to see if hopefully we got everybody on here as well. That's not the list yet, but it'll be there in 1 second. Okay, our list of those who have been part of our sacred community for 20 years or more. So you can all take a look, and we tried very hard to make sure that we have everybody on the list. As you can see, there are more than 80 names. It would not shock me if we accidentally missed somebody, even though we showed the list to Rabbi Haddon, to Rabbi Margolis, to Bobby Kolan, to many people who have been part of the sacred community for a very long time. We tried to get everybody, and it was fascinating, actually. We went through our database, and we got a list of congregants who've been part of the congregation for more than 20 years. And looked at it very closely, and I suddenly realized that there were some very important people who were missing from the congregation. And missing from that list, I want to especially acknowledge Where'd she go? She was on here before. She might have stepped off for a moment. There's Lonnie Shapiro, who we believe has been a congregant for, I think, 43 years, Lonnie shared. More than that? Wait, I'll unmute you. You can, how many years?
47.
47 years. Okay, so Lonnie, and I don't want to say that you've been a congregant for so long, we actually didn't have your join date in our database, and we don't have a membership application for you either. But I knew that you had been part of our sacred community for such a long time, and we're so grateful to have you as part of our community. I want to acknowledge a couple of other congregants who have been part of our sacred community for so long. I'm not going to spotlight everybody, though, but just to also acknowledge Jean Haddon, who I know has been a part of the congregation for many, many years as well, along with Rabbi Haddon, too. Although I think Jean was maybe a congregant before John came to the community. And there are so many others who are part of this, who have been part of our sacred community for so long. I know I saw Terry Henry on before and is still on now as well. The Krolwiches have been congregants for a very long time. Robbie Margolis, who I don't think is on the Shabbat, but also has been part of our sacred community for so many years. We are so grateful to all who have been part of Congregation Shir Shalom, part of Jewish Family Congregation, part of Temple Shereth Israel as well. And your presence has meant so much to our sacred community. And so I want to offer a special blessing for those who have been part of this sacred community. I forgot Hal and Lori Wolkin, who I know also have been part of the community, and Ken and Jonas. If I say any more names, I'm surely going to forget important people who I should not be forgetting. So Cantor, I'll leave it to you to name everybody else who should be named right now.
Maybe the Bergmans.
Yes, the Bergmans I know have been around, the parents as well.
What about the Pilches?
The Pilches, of course. Thank you, Lonnie. Everybody. We're celebrating everybody who is part of our sacred community. And there is a text in next week's Torah portion that speaks about how to build the tabernacle, to build the tent of meeting where our ancestors gathered while they were in the wilderness. And it says, Me'et kol ish asher yidvenu libo tikhu et trumati. From every person who is moved by their hearts, they should bring gifts. And we acknowledge how so many people in our sacred community have brought gifts for so many years, who have been part of our gathering together as Temple Shereth Israel, as Jewish Family Congregation, as Congregation Shir Shalom. And we celebrate this legacy of those who have come together, who have given of their hearts to build and establish our holy communal structure. You have given of gold, silver, and copper, purple and crimson yarns, fine woods, items from near and far. You have given of your time, of your energy. You've given your soul, your spirits. We call you Nedivim, those who are generous. We know you as Nedivim, those who are kind. We look to you, Nedivim, people who volunteer your time, your resources to create the community we cherish. We respect you, Nidvei Amo, those who are leaders among our people, and we offer thanks to you who sustain us, just as you give thanks to God. As we read in Psalms, with a generous gift, I make an offering to you, O God, I give thanks to your name. Baruch atah Adonai, noten tormim nidivim. Blessed is God, the giver of generous givers. And thank you to all who have served, who have supported our sacred community for so many years. Why don't we sing now the blessing, Yivarechecha, Cantor. Actually, you know what? Is there something else you wanted to sing first?
Anything you want.
Okay, why don't we sing the words of, we'll save Yevarechecha for the people who have just become part of our sacred community. But first we're going to sing the words of Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha. Is that okay?
Sure, Shechianu.
Shechianu. You know what? Even better, Cantor. Shechianu. We give thanks for being sustained to celebrate this sacred day together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Wonderful. Thank you, Cantor. We continue next by acknowledging this 5th anniversary of Congregation Shir Shalom as well. And I want to hold up the beautiful, beautiful birthday cake that was created and given by Stacy's Totally Baked. And I'm not sure I'll do it total justice here, but I'm going to remove the spotlight so you'll only see the cake on your screens. I'm actually going to walk it all the way up to our camera too, so you can see it nice and close. 5 years of Shir Shalom, and I'm going to have to do this carefully without tipping the whole cake, but you can see our beautiful logo on top as well. It's absolutely wonderful, and I am very excited to celebrate 5 years of our congregation, and I know Ashley and Samson and Asher are going to be very excited to eat this wonderful cake to celebrate on behalf of everybody. Just a word of blessing before we continue with singing a little bit as well. Our God and God of our ancestors, in celebration, we have come together this Shabbat to offer praises to you, our rock and our Redeemer. Your steadfast love supports all generations. You give us strength and endow us with a willingness and determination to continue the work which we began 5 years ago. With your guidance, our founding leadership placed their faith in you, laboring to make your name sacred, that we might come together at this time, our congregation's 5th anniversary. Those founders' efforts were not in vain, though through their prayers and their example, we have been brought nearer to you, Adonai, to seek you with our total being. May the recollections of the past 5 years of those who have led before us stir us to meet our duties with renewed vigor. Confirm us in our hope and strengthen the devotion of those whose passion may have faded. As united people, may we preserve our heritage so that it may bring us joy and strengthen future generations. We ask your blessing, Adonai, for this congregation. May it continue to grow and flourish, that through it, reverence for you be implanted in the hearts of all. May we learn to share our work and prayers with those of other communities, and may our sharing with others strengthen our own vision through our word as much as through our action. May we serve you and sanctify your holy name. Amen. And now, as we go from recognizing those who have been part of our sacred community for more than 20 years to recognizing this 5th anniversary of our sacred community, we think now to Atid, to the future of our sacred community as well. And we are so delighted to welcome this Shabbat 11 families who have become part of Congregation Shir Shalom within the past year. I want to acknowledge those 11 families. Some are with us in this moment. Some were not able to join us this Shabbat. But Douglas and Audra Emmerich and Logan, Marissa and Timothy Schaefer, as well as Esther and Isaac, Blake and Kirsten Winokur, along with their children Liv and Sloan, Robert and Amber Paprin and Madeline, Sheva and Evan Bassett and their son Lev, Allison Seidel and David Minsek, their children Adam and Leah, Daniel and Rebecca Darst and their children Annabelle and Henry, Lance and Jessica Reich, their children Emberly, Eric and Ethan, Noah and Amira Axe, their children Augustine and Jillian, and then two families that have joined us only in the past week. We especially want to welcome Stacy and Jonathan Wanaker and their son Tyler, and Steve and Angela Kesselman and their son Alexander. And I think that Stacy and Jonathan have more children than just Tyler, but we're still delighted to welcome them all, to wish them all Shabbat Shalom. We're going to put on your screens a blessing to invite our new congregants to read. There it is. Welcome to your new community. And first, invite everybody to read these words where it says congregation. Bruchim habayim, welcome to your new community. Bruchim habayim, to your new synagogue. When you find a synagogue to call your home, you have found yourself a holy community in which the divine presence dwells. May you never be alone within our community. May we always be willing to support each other. And to our new congregants, we invite you to read, as we hope to feel at home, may we help to make this synagogue a home. And now we're going to bestow upon you the threefold benediction of our people. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May God's face be lifted up to you, and may you be blessed with God's greatest gift, the blessing of shalom, of peace. Thank you so much, Cantor. And I'm sorry, I forgot to mention Logan Emmerich as well, the son of Audra and Douglas. And I should really also acknowledge those congregants who have been part of our community for more than 20 years, who are with us tonight as well. So I'm going to quickly just read through this list and acknowledge you because your presence means so much to us. I know I saw Jeff Berg and Deborah Paget on before, Rick and Bobby Colan, Charles and Risa Fremid, Cantor Debbie and Scott Gray as well, Rabbi John and Jean Haddon, Terry and Bob Henry, Larry and Vivian Hoffman, Jeffrey and Lauren Hubsher, Ken and Joan Isman, Steve Kay and Linda Aronson, Jeff and Linda Krolwich, Mark and Deborah Lavin, Rhonda Manis, Richard and Kathy Mishkin, and I'm going to have to quickly keep going here too to make sure I don't forget everything. Hal Wolkin and Lori Wolkin as well. And I saw the Gorelics on as well, part of our community for more than 20 years here. Karen Taylor and David Kaminer, Alan and Beth Aldman, and I think I saw Susan Westlake on as well too. I'm going to keep looking while we continue with our next prayer. Hopefully I didn't forget anybody, but I'm sure I did. Alan Pilch and Elaine Gordon. I'll keep looking though and continue. We're going to continue now though with the words of Elenu Lishabaya, which can be found in our prayer books on page 586 in the full edition, 282 in the Shabbat only edition, and also on your screens in just a moment. And I invite you to please rise.
Elenu Lishabaya la'adon hakol, la'tein gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kiguyei ha'aratzot, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגמר עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
You may be seated. And I see already a few people that I forgot to mention. Suzanne Sunday and Ken Kurzweil, Michael and Rona Salpeter, Jeff and Lauren Hubscher. And if there's anyone else that I forgot, I am so sorry. I'm committing one of the great sins, one of the things they tell us never to do in rabbinical school, which is don't start to name people unless you are sure you have every name there is on the list. So if there is somebody else, please just send me a message. I'm so sorry. I'm going to keep looking. Who did I forget, Debbie?
Or they can put it in the chat.
Yes, you can put it in the chat, and we'll pretend like I remembered all of a sudden as well. Oh, Lori Dubin. How could I forget Lori Dubin right in front of me? Barbara Safran is here too. I am very sorry, but thank you for your understanding as well. I know some people also have their cameras off too. We're going to continue now. Leslie and David Moss as well. We're going to continue now and think of people who are no longer with us, who are living only in our memories. We think certainly this Shabbat of people who were part of our sacred community for many years and have died in recent days, in recent months, in recent years as well, who were part of our sacred community over so many years in the past. Each Shabbat we share the names of members of another Jewish community that was destroyed, the Jewish community of Brno, which was the source of one of our Sifrei Torah, one of our Torah scrolls. We have a list of more than 8,000 names, more than 8,000 people who were killed because they were Jewish and are no more. And each Shabbat we share a few of those names to preserve the collective memory of that community. Ida Polakova, Ruth Polakova, Bedrich Polak, Zikmund Polak, Alice Polakova, Berta Polakova, Emily Polakova, Leopold Polashek, Amelie Politzerova, Alfred Pollock. We recall loved ones who died at this season in years past, whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. Pauline Berkowitz, Leonard Brodnick, Ada Dolan, Albert Elkin, Moses Ferguson, Sadie Hissiger, Lottie Merkin, Melvin Moss, father of David Moss, Felicia Mucciolo, Max Rifkin, Herman Rosenthal, Ada Ryan, mother of Eve Siegel, James Taylor, father-in-law of Karen Taylor, Charles Wharton, brother of Gail Berman. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we praise God and pray for the coming of God's kingdom with the words of Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, which may be found in our prayer books on page 294, page 598 in the full edition. And I invite you to please rise to comfort the mourners who are in our midst as we join together in these words of memory and praise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divarach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam u'olmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved. Together we again say, Amen. You may be seated. I want to make mention as well of a congregant who died just 2 days ago, just yesterday morning, Murray Darvik, who was a regular at our Friday night services with his wife Ellen for many years. And Ellen and Murray have been congregants for more than 20 years this year as well. Murray died on Thursday. Our custom, though, is to not recite Kaddish until after burial. The funeral for Murray will be Sunday at about 1:45, and it will be broadcast over Zoom as well. A message was sent out to our congregation this afternoon. We're going to continue now. I want to invite Tiffany Zazula to offer a few words of welcome on behalf of our Board of Trustees. And just want to find Tiffany on my list here. Okay, Tiffany is unmuted.
Hi, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. So good to see everybody. We love looking at everyone's wonderful faces on Zoom, and what a beautiful Shabbat this has been. And it's amazing also to celebrate. My family and I were it was beautiful to see 20 years of more of people being a part of this congregation. So just beautiful. And then also to welcome all of our new members. We are so thrilled to have you here and reach out, and we're looking forward to not being on Zoom and being together to have us part of this community. So and then of course again celebrating our 5 years. So so much to celebrate this evening. I also just really quickly want to thank the people who prepared and the delivery team of Shabbat across America. Lori Dubin and Michael Zeitz, this was a great production, watching all of the congregation coming together, delivering the boxes, seeing everyone open their boxes up, and having the challah and the candles. So Thank you, everyone who took part in this process. And then finally, just as a quick reminder, I just wanted to tell everybody we have coming up the Baking the Macaroons with Rachel Levy-Lesser, which on Sunday, March 14th. Please come. I'm looking forward to it. I think this is great. The recipe is up in our newsletter, and then you can get online and start baking, and we can bake all together for Passover. So me and the kids are looking forward to doing that. And then I think that's it. I know that in case anyone wants to know as well, the Caring Committee is also offering help to our congregants find and register for the COVID vaccine. So in case you're interested in that. But in the meantime, a wonderful Shabbat Shalom to everybody. And it was great to see everyone. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Cantor.
Thank you, Tiffany, as well. It's great to see all the family popping in and out behind you there, too. And I'm just going to add to what Tiffany said. First of all, I figured out two other families that forgot to mention, Leslie and Larry Gottlieb. Leslie, of course, is the director of our religious school, and I know has been here for more than 20 years. And I'm so sorry, Leslie, you didn't appear on my screen because the camera was off. But we are so glad to have you part of our community for so many years. And also Stuart and Elaine Feldman, who have been part of our sacred community for, I believe, 30 years, and it looks like might have been inadvertently left off of one of our lists as well. So I am so sorry for that, too. Cantor, I didn't see the Needlemans. Are they on the service? I'm sorry if I missed them as well, but I was trying to focus on the people who were here. So I also wanted to just echo what Tiffany said. Thank so many people who helped deliver our Shabbat in a box. Joe Ellis, Tara Axler, Dawn Roberts, Sarah Denyer, the director of our Early Childhood Center, Hillary Hughes, Bobby Colan, Elaine Gordon, Debbie Landsberg, Jessica Aframe, Jody Cross, Suzanne Sunday, Cantor Debbie, David Moss, Emily Ween, Monty Newman, and Tiffany Zazula as well. And then acknowledge some very special people who really went above and beyond to make tonight possible and to make tonight happen. Jenna Dubin, who helped prepare the graphics for the artwork that was in the boxes. Michelle Blum, who helped pack the boxes and was a creative consultant. Jane and Peter Zeitz, who helped pack the boxes. Natalie Esikumo, who also helped pack the boxes. Stacy Sussman for delivering gifts and for making this beautiful, beautiful cake that I am so excited to share with my wife and sons and eat a little bit. And Cantor, maybe if you're nice, I'll give you a slice as well. Or Bob, wait, Cantor, you're muted. I'm sorry. You'll have to unmute yourself. Wait, I have to unmute you. I'm sorry.
But you could just save me a little piece.
I'll save you a little piece. Okay. I should also make sure to save a slice of the cake for Bobby Colan, who really also helped to bring tonight together as the chair of the Congregants Committee to make tonight a really special occasion. And Bobby, we are so grateful for all of your efforts and energy and everything that you do. And I also want to acknowledge Michael Zeitz and Lori Dubin, who were really the organizers of tonight as well, who helped pack, who helped put together everything we're doing this Shabbat. So to acknowledge Lori, I'm going to even spotlight you, Lori, so that we can all wave at you and you can wave back at us as well. And spotlight Michael as well, who disappeared from my screen for just a moment. Now I see Marcia Needleman. She definitely was here. It's good. Not that we're keeping attendance of everybody. Michael, I don't see you. Maybe you oh, there you are. There you are. Okay, we'll wave at Michael now too. It was so nice to see everybody waving at Lori. Now you can wave at Michael as well for helping to plan our special Shabbat Across America tonight. We're going to conclude now with a special song that was written for the union of our congregations just about 5 years ago. And Cantor, you're going to lead us in beautiful, beautiful music.
Thank you. And I really want to thank, it was Rabbi Reiner's idea that I try and write a song. I've never written a song before. And so I asked for major help with Beth Stiles, who knows how to write songs. And together we wrote this song, Shir Shalom, which is the lesson about being light. And everyone in this congregation is truly a ner. You have the neshama, you have soul, you have the ruach for the reish. Together you are a light. Together we are a bright light, and we are Shir Shalom. Be the light of peace. Be the light of hope. Be the light of spirit, and near to the world. Be the light of joy. Be the light of faith. Be the light of healing. Shir Shalom. Let's all sing. Shir Shalom. Shir Shalom. Shir Shalom uvracha. Shir Shalom. Shir Shalom. Shir Shalom uvracha. Sing a song of peace. Sing a song of hope. Sing a song of spirit, and near to the world. Sing a song of joy. Sing a song of faith. Sing a song of healing. Shir Shalom. Shir Shalom. Shir Shalom. Shir Shalom uvracha. Shir Shalom. Shir Shalom. Shir Shalom uvracha.
I thought you were going to keep going, Cantor. I ran out of...
What I think I feel like doing right now is this. Simmin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmin tov, simmin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmin tov, simmin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmin tov. Yehelanu, 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 ulecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael. Mazel tov. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. I forgot Jamie Kaplan. She was on our list as well of 20 plus years. So thank you, Jamie, as well for all of your time. Shabbat Shalom to everybody. We'll invite you to unmute yourselves to wish each other Shabbat Shalom as well.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Thank you for the boxes. Thank you for the box.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you for the
Bye.
All right.
Bye.